Okay, I thought we made the most of our bye week. Got a lot done. Got the players some rest. Got some bumps and bruises hopefully healed up. So we're back today, Wednesday practice. Obviously a short week this week, Thursday game. UCLA, as I mentioned last week, tremendous football team, ranked 12th and 13th in the country in the respective polls. And really no weaknesses right now. Offensively, leading the conference in total offense. Maybe leading the nation in third downs. I haven't checked. They're leading the Pac-12 for certain at 68% and might be leading the nation in that category. But bottom line is it's a big challenge for us, but we'll be ready to play and looking forward to the game on Thursday night. So questions?
Coach, looking at UCLA's offense and its ability to make explosive plays, how important will ball control be for your team?
Well, that's always important, and our offense has done a nice job of protecting the football and not turning it over this year. We've been very good at with ball security, and that'll be a premium this week, obviously. And then making first downs. In order to make first downs, we got to be much better than we were on third down in the previous game. You know, third down was probably the biggest negative to come out of the rivalry game, or lack of third down production, and so that's got to improve. And if that improves, then we'll move the ball better by making first downs and controlling the clock a little bit.
Coach, it was just a few years ago that UCLA was pretty much an also-ran, and they were kind of going nowhere as a program. Then they hire Coach Moore, and he turns things around really quickly. Is this just kind of just a testament to how the right hire could come in and kind of make a team that hasn't been so good really good in a short amount of time?
I think that's part of it. Coach Moore is a heck of a football coach. He's got a great background. He's done a lot of good things at a lot of different places. But by no means was the cupboard bare when he got there. Coach Newheisel had done a great job recruiting there, and they had talented players. And so I think it's a combination of a great deal of talent that he inherited, but taking that talent and maximizing it. So I guess to answer your question is yes on one front, but more to it than just that.
What is it that their quarterback Hundley does so well that makes him such a great weapon?
Well, he does everything well. He's a lot like our guy, like Travis. I mean, their numbers are almost exact when you compare the two as far as the throw game. They're within a point or two of each other in pass efficiency. Hundley runs the ball well, like Travis does, and so there's a really good comparison between those two guys, and it's going to be an intriguing matchup. You know, the quarterbacks, going against each other head to head this Thursday night, and so that's really what Travis brings to the table and makes him difficult to defend. Hundley does the same thing for the Bruins.
Kyle, in general, what are your thoughts on these very early week Thursday games, and specifically for this one, how fortuitous is it that you're coming off of a bye to prepare for it?
Well, I think Thursday games are good for exposure. You have the chance to be on national television. You don't want to make a habit of it. I think that one or two a season is plenty. Academics is obviously a concern. Your players, it's right in the middle of your academic week. But and then coming off the bye week, it's a level playing field where both teams are in the same situation. So I don't see any advantage or disadvantage to that. Now, back in the in the previous years, there has been situations where you're coming off bye week where the other team isn't, or vice versa, which makes things a little bit different. But I don't think this is a big issue. I think we're both, like I said, on the same footing.
What makes Anthony Barr such a special player?
Well, he's explosive. He's instinctive. He does it all. He's just a player that has a great motor and great skill set. Fundamentally and technique sound, and he's a force, no doubt about it.
What position matchup are you guys going to have to win on Thursday in order to have a chance in this game?
Well, I think it starts at the line of scrimmage, like it does most weeks. I think if our defensive line can do a good job putting pressure on the quarterback, like we have done so far this season, we're second in the league, I think, in sacks. First in the league in sacks per game. And so if that can continue, if we can continue to win the line of scrimmage, and that goes for both sides. Offensively, we need to protect Travis and open some holes up in the run game. So I think most weeks that is the key matchup, and I don't see this week being any different.
The spotlight's really been on the secondary from preseason until now. What kind of progress have you seen from them, especially after the BYU game?
Well, we've definitely taken steps forward in a lot of areas. The Oregon State game was a point where we really gave up a bunch. Now, if you followed Oregon State, he's doing that every week. I mean, Mannion did it again Saturday, and so I think he threw for 420 or something like that again. So it's not something that he hasn't done to everybody. But to answer your question, I think we've made strides. We've got 4 or 5 guys that we feel comfortable with now, and the group has really separated itself and become apparent as who the guys are that are ready to play and who's not quite ready.
Coach, you talked about UCLA's national rankings and the fact that it's a nationally televised game, those kind of things. What have you seen from your guys over the last couple of days of practice and showing how amped up they are for this scenario?
Well, their work ethic at practice has been excellent. Their focus, their concentration, and the week before was probably the best it's been in a long time. And this past week has really been similar to what we had going into the rivalry game as far as the quality of practices. And there's an air of confidence about the team. And we know we got to get things rolling in the Pac-12. But right now, we feel like we've made big steps as to who we are, our identity, what we're good at, what we're not so good at.
Coach, over the first few games, you've emphasized creating turnovers on your defense. Could you give us something of a progress report on how the defense is doing and what you've worked on this week to perhaps take a few away from UCLA?
Yeah, we're working on that constantly throughout the entire practice. There is no one period devoted to it. It's a constant throughout practice, stripping the ball out and getting the ball out of the air interception-wise. And we did come up with an interception in the rivalry game. We're still way behind where we'd like to be in takeaways. But with the offense doing such a good job taking care of the football, that has not been really magnified as it could have been if the offense wasn't doing such a great job with their ball security.
Coach, third downs, offensively and also defensively. Looking back at last year's UCLA game, Brett Hundley, third down, he ran wild. Can you talk about that scenario? And then offensively, what you guys can do to better the 1 of 14 and to extend drives?
Yeah, well, first of all, defensively, we're not doing bad in third down overall for the season. I think we're somewhere in the mid-30s to upper 30 percentile, which our goal as a defense is 30%. If we can hold teams to 30% or less, we feel really good about that. Offensively, we're actually doing pretty good on third down up until this past ball game. We were in the mid-40s, and this last game obviously hurt that percentage. But on offense, in order for us to move the chains, do a better job moving the chains in this past game, it was just a matter of making a few more plays. We had a couple drops, some penalties, and some things that negated some of those third down conversions. Defensively, we got to do a better job of keeping Hundley, when you relate back to last year, in the cage. He escaped far too many times and predominantly on third down. So we got to do a better job with our pass rush and our spacing within those lanes.
You already touched on Barr and what Barr does for their defense, but what else are they doing defensively? Because they seem to be making plays, and who are a couple of the other guys to keep an eye on Thursday night?
Well, they're good across the board on defense. The Marsh kid, the defensive lineman, number 99, I'm really high on him. He's Curtis Marsh's son that played here way back when, and he's an active, tough defensive lineman. Their secondary is athletic. Their backers are active. And so there really isn't anything that you can say is a weakness on their defense. They're playing exceptionally well. They do a nice job mixing in some odd front and mixing up coverages. And Coach Moore, that really is his forte, his defensive side of the ball, and you can see that showing up in their schemes.
Kyle, in light of the Lane Kiffin firing over the weekend, just in general terms as a college football coach, how much concern is there in looking at the need or the want to win now and get results now and what a short lifespan coaches can have? Yeah,
well, that's the nature of the profession right now is not very patient. There's a lot of money at stake. I mean, it's big business. You saw, I think Connecticut did the same thing. I think the coach at UConn got let go this week as well, and so that's how it is. There's no change in it, and every college coach, I don't think there's anybody that doesn't want to win in the worst way and is far more concerned with that than what's going on externally. And so all you do is just do the best job you can, and the other stuff that's out of your control you don't really worry about.
Kyle, I know it's very, very early, but if you get a win this week, everybody in the South Division will have one loss in Pac-12 play already. Can you just talk about how Pac-12 play is developing so far in your eyes?
Yeah, so far the North seems to have a distinct advantage. I'm not sure what the overall head-to-head record is, but I know it's not good for the South. But what that does for us is it actually helps us, because the North is beat up on some people. But we just got to worry about our own selves, and if we do get fortunate enough to get a win, then we're right in the thick of things.
And the second question, home field advantage doesn't seem to be as obviously as prevalent as it was in the Mountain West and the Pac-12. Can you just talk about how wins don't seem to be as common at home as they were in the Pac? Now
Well,
the
as I
Pac-12?
think I mentioned a few weeks ago, the teams that are coming in here, there's a dramatic difference in a lot of the talent levels of the teams that have come in here. But I will say our home field advantage, if it's is not because of lack of fan support. Our fans have been outstanding. They fill the stadium up every week. They're loud. It's a great environment. And so, the fans, we can't thank our fans enough for the support they've given us over the last several years. And to answer your question, it's, to me, the bottom line there is we have, a bunch of high-quality, top 25 type teams coming through here on a regular basis. And so that's been the biggest reason for that. Thanks, guys.